Well, with daylight saving time behind us, that means one thing is ahead: spring.
And on the Food Network, that means it's time for another Spring Baking Championship. This time emceed by the host with the most, Clinton Kelly. Take a look.
This season on Spring Baking Championship.
Happy spring!
These 10 talented bakers will take whisks in hopes of the ultimate reward.
Exquisite.
One of the best things I've ever seen on the show.
$25,000.
It's crazy.
Wow, that was impressive. In this winner bakes all competition,
These are fantastic.
who will be
This makes my soul happy.
Spring Baking Champion?
Well, spring has sprung.
Oh, and Clinton joins us now. Welcome back, Clinton.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, as always.
Great to have you.
Yeah, you know what? One of my favorite things about spring is the Spring Baking Championship. It gets me excited about baking and flowers.
Yeah, right?
Yes, this is the 5th season, but this is the first time you're hosting.
First time for me, yeah.
So are you just blown away by the talent?
I got to be honest with you. I couldn't believe how talented these bakers are, because it's like half art and half science. Because, you know, when it comes to baking, it's like everything has to be very precise.
It does.
Right? But that also has to be beautiful. So you have to have both of those aspects of your personality.
I know, if you had to pick one or the other, I mean, you probably can't, but I feel like your presentation almost has to be more spectacular than someone else's, because you eat with your eyes first.
Right. If it's not there, if it's not beautiful, you don't want to dig in, because everybody's thinking calories. Is this going to be worth the calories?
Right,
so that's
right.
Good for you to get
Better
in there.
be good. So for folks who haven't seen this, what goes into a spring baking challenge? What are you all looking for in contestants?
Yeah, the pieces that they create really have to look like spring and taste like spring, with a lot of fresh fruit, a lot of bright colors, you know, the beautiful edible garnishes. There are a lot of macarons.
Oh, I love a macaron.
Yeah. So that kind of thing. Yeah, it's not those really, there were some heavy desserts, but you know, for the most part, they were a little bit lighter, fluffier, airier.
And what's this competition like? Is it like, you know, very competitive, or is there a lot of camaraderie? What's it like on this set?
A lot of camaraderie. I think that
really?
the contestants
maybe because
really,
it's spring.
Maybe that's what it was.
Sugar makes people happy.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, there was no backstabbing. Everybody was really supportive of each other. When we started to get down to the final contestants, they were all so happy for each other. You know, so it was I wanted to be a part of a feel-good show. You know, I don't want to do that backstabbing stuff. It's not right.
No, that's no fun. I don't like that
Just go to
either.
Housewives. Like,
Exactly.
Well, you were also a guest judge on Family Food Showdown,
Yes.
Valerie Bertinelli's new show.
Yeah, she's so great, Valerie
She
Bertinelli.
is. She's just the nicest person.
Nicest person.
You've hosted, you've judged. Which do you like better?
Well, here's the thing about hosting. There's a lot of time cues, right? So you're like, oh, all right, bakers, you got 2 hours, and then you got an hour and 45 minutes, and you got an hour and a half, and you're going back to your trailer, and then coming back and giving a time cue. It can be a little monotonous after a while. And as a host, you're not really doing a lot of the action. You know, there are people baking, and then there are people judging, and the host, you're just sort of taking everybody through step by step.
Yeah.
But when you're a judge, you really get to give your opinion, and I find that to be a little bit more fun.
You get to taste everything, too.
Yeah, you taste everything, and you really get to, like, you know, tell it like it is, which I think is more fun.
Do you have any favorites so far?
On spring baking?
Yeah, spring baking.
I can't say.
Can't say.
They're all so great. And as far as the food, so I stood for, you know, the competition right next to Nancy, and she would always be like, have a little bite of this. So she fed me the whole competition. Like, she was like, this one you really have to taste. You really have
It was
to
like a
taste this
dream
one."
job.
It was kind of a dream
you must have been
job.
working out like crazy, because you look like you didn't gain an ounce.
I didn't eat anything else other than the dessert. That was the thing. I was like, I'll skip breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So you know, you do all these things in the food world, but in your personal life, do you have time to cook in the kitchen?
I cook a lot. Believe it or not, I'm not, truth be told, I'm not a sweets cooker.
Really?
I'm not a baker so much.
Because
but
it's so precise.
It's so precise. I like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, and then let it simmer on the stove for a little while. So I'm more of a cook than a baker, but I do cook every day.
Really?
Really, pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I know. And you have time?
Yeah, now I do. There were some years where I was like, I don't really have time. Now I got some time.
Hint to my agent.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it makes you feel good to cook your own food.
It really
so you know
does. It does. It shows people that you love them. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we love you,
Thank
even
you,
if
my
you
dear.
don't cook for us.
I will one of
You
these
can
days.
catch the season premiere of Spring Baking Championship on March 18th at 9 p.m. on the Food Network. Thank you so much, Clinton.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you here.